to you actually matches some other evidence out there in the world.
Yes, I'm just trying to determine if, these cartridge cases came from the same firearm and or the submitted firearm or not, and same for projectiles.
Okay. And you were able to determine, I guess what you were testifying to, you were able to determine that these two firearms, these rifles here, that these two rifles that were found in Sean Gathwright's house, they were used in some other October 7th, 2023 shooting?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
These two rifles, what are they connected to?
So I concluded that, sorry, let me refer to my notes, I apologize, that the,
Judge, I would object to the question as phrased, what are they connected to is vague.
I'm going to sustain the objection, rephrase.
What is the purpose of these, of showing these rifles to the jury?
Objection.
Sustain the objection. Sustain the objection.
What is the purpose of showing why there's a safety on this firearm, on these
I'm
rifles?
going to sustain the objection.
I don't even know what the objection is at this point. There's no legal basis. It's just an objection.
It's
Objection to
irrelevant.
the speaking
It's
objections
irrelevant
by
and it's
counsel.
improper question.
It was elicited in front of the jury.
Mr. McClement, I'm not going to argue with you. If I allow the witness to testify, then that makes it relevant and material. Okay?
And if it's relevant, then I should be able to
Objection, Your
cross-examine
Honor.
on it.
I'm going to sustain
Can we
the.
come sidebar?
The jury.
No, no.
So I can't argue. I can't come
Objection.
sidebar.
Mr.
This is
McClement,
improper for him to do
please
this in front of the
stop.
jury, Your Honor.
It's improper,
It's disrespectful, too.
I asked to come sidebar.
and the answer is no, we don't need to sidebar it. If the witness was permitted to testify something, that makes it relevant and admissible.
I'm not arguing that, Judge. I just want to talk to her about what she testified to.
Listen, I've sustained the objection. Ask your next question.
This had to be the most intense day that we had in that courtroom. Let's go ahead and walk it on down, because not only did that argument happen, damn near immediately right before we cut to lunch, they said, let's argue it up some more.
Why does this photo matter? Other than to show the jury that she is cozying up with gang members. That is the entire point of all of these exhibits, Your Honor. And
Well, but then she's taking photos and saving them to her phone of herself with gang members making gang signs.
my response to that is so. So what? Why does that matter to you guys?
Well, to me, it seems like it goes to the weight the jury is supposed to give as opposed to admissibility.
But to the weight of what, Your Honor?
Okay, first of all, you guys stood up in opening statement, okay? And you told this jury, and there is no evidence she's a gang member. Or that she's associated with a gang member.
It's not just, it's further than that, Your Honor.
I'm not done. So you get up in opening statement and you say, this was just a romantic getaway. She thought she was going with her boyfriend somewhere. She didn't know any of these individuals involved. She had no idea that this was going to be a gang-related anything. That's what you told this jury in opening statement.
Yeah, specifically that she didn't know the individuals involved in this murder.
Okay.
And they haven't shown you any evidence of that.
yeah,
They're
but-
going on a rampage about 50 people that are not involved in this case. We did not say that she didn't know any gang members. What we said was that she did not know the Davion Murphy, Rashad Murphy. We haven't heard anything about that. We heard Sean Gathwright's grandma testify. I've never seen her before. There's no evidence even that they even have a relationship outside of her knowing who she was. But again, Your Honor, what does that have to do with this murder? I'm sorry, counsel is like talking sideways in my ear. It's very distracting.
Okay? All right, let's look at the next one, which is C14. And what is this?
This is a screenshot of J. Breezy's music video that was also saved to the device in 2019. There were some indications regarding the earlier, screen shares or screenshots that were taken in the case that the gang detectives talked about. But most importantly, J. Breezy is linked to this case as having provided payment to Ms. Andrews' boyfriend. Ms. Andrews had obviously testified in her interview, and we expected to come out in testimony that she was not with that boyfriend at this time, putting her having knowledge of this individual at the time of at least this screenshot, which would have been back in 2019. He's the one who provided payment to Mr. Chance for the Airbnb before Mr. Chance provides payment for the Airbnb for this day.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, so this is a screenshot of, I didn't see which one it was. This is a screenshot of a music video?
Yes. So I'm going to sustain the objection as to C14. Okay?
You see, one of the things that happens is one side cherry picks. One side does. We've seen it happen in Young Thug's trial, where y'all remember when Brian Still said a whole bunch of stuff, and then I don't remember the white guy with the beard and the glasses and the bald head. He was like, yeah, he told you a story, but it's not the whole story, Your Honor. And I don't hesitate when I say this, but if you let him out, he is the most dangerous man in Atlanta, in Fulton County, in Georgia. So what the defense is saying is, y'all not telling the whole entire truth. And since y'all not going to tell the whole entire truth, let the whole truth come out. And lordy, lordy, lord, we ain't even got done with the day already. But when we say fireworks, roll it.
I'm going to publish 22A. And sir, this is all put together in chronological time. Is that correct? Stitching together the various videos.
Correct. Easier to follow.
And what is being shown right there, what that car just passed?
That's the Impala arriving into the Homestead Suites parking lot.
And are you showing the path of travel of that black Chevy Impala?
Correct. Driving northbound through the parking lot.
And again, it has not passed in front of those victims' vehicles. Is that correct?
Correct.
And what is happening here?
It arrived on the west side of the Homestead Suites and it's turning around.
And is it now parking in that space that you had designated in States Exhibit 45 by that red rectangle?
It stages until the cruise arrives, and then once the cruise arrives, it starts to park, yes.
And that is the cruise passing again right in front of the victim's vehicle?
Correct.
And where is the black Chevy Impala at this point?
The Impala is passing in front of the Tesla with the cruise right behind it.
What's the cruise doing at this point?
It turned around and is now headed back out the way it came in.
And then where is the black Chevy Impala?
The black Impala, while the Silver Cruise is turning around, is pulling into the parking space. There's the tail lights, and it's backing in. You can see it from in between the top of the van and the white pillar there in the center of the screen.
And now is it parked?
Right now, it's fully in the spot.
And that is the spot that you designated on your diagram, is that correct?
With a red block, yes.
And what is happening with the silver Chevy Cruise?
The Cruise is driving out the way it came in, passing the victim's location.
What are you capturing now in this video footage?
The three shooters came out of the Impala and are walking towards the victim's position. This is them passing the Tesla, various angles.
Did you see the person with a handgun?
Yes, bottom right of the screen.
During the course of this shooting, did anyone from the victim's vehicles, those two other vehicles, ever get out of the vehicle and approach the victim in his vehicle?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Did any of the victims in those two vehicles that fled, the Nissan Altima and the Hyundai, did any of them get out of those vehicles before fleeing?
No.
Did the two persons that got out of the black Nissan Altima, Miss Aaliyah Albritton and Tafa McCrae, did any of them ever come out of the hotel while the shooting was occurring?
No.
Now what is being shown here?
This is the victim's vehicle driving north. The shooters are running by the Tesla with the third shooter in the back there still shooting.
And what vehicle, based on all this video footage, are the shooters pursuing?
The black Dodge Charger containing the victim.
And this is a composite of various cameras, is that correct?
Correct.
Did you watch the entirety of all of the cameras of the surrounding home to suites, of the Tesla and the USF pole cam? Did you watch the entirety of all of that video footage?
I did.
And during that time period, did you ever see Aaliyah Albritton or Tafa McCrae ever exit out of the hotel during the course of when all that shooting was occurring and when the victim's vehicle was being pursued by those shooters?
No.
So Miss Alicia Andrews was actually in that goddamn car. Because everybody was wondering, me, myself included, like, y'all keep on showing this kid, meaning Charles Jones, a.k.a. Foolio, y'all keep showing Foolio getting shot up. I wonder why. I wonder why y'all keep on letting this thing stuff fly. Show how he died and all of this stuff. because they're showing she wanted to see him die no matter what. There was no reason to bring this stuff up as far as this old high school text message. And before you people get on here and try to argue with me, let me ask you this simple question. Is it out of the realm of possibilities that somebody who's a young girl, 17 years old, in high school, would have a very negative reaction to one of her friends being killed, and then people rapping and making songs about that very friend being killed? Do you think it's out of the possibility that they might say, I want to see the person who's making fun of this person perish? Yeah, I pretty much thought so. But the fact that she was chilling in that car, bruh, what the hell? So he stunk something up because we were wondering, bruh, why the hell the opening statement she say she was scared? Now, makes more sense. But we're not done yet because there's one thing that's missing, and y'all all know it's interrogation. Let's go.
About the defendant's interview with law enforcement, okay?
Yes, Judge.
So, if I'm hearing defense correctly, you want the information left in, the statements from Detective Ramos dealing with the potential penalty the defendant is facing to show what? So what is the context you're attempting to show?
So the issue is what I want to show is what this detective is saying to Ms. Andrews and why she's responding the way that she's responding. The conversation itself, the interrogation itself, if you cut out parts of it, you're going to misinterpret what she's saying, why she's saying it, and how she's saying it. There's points in time where the detectives are yelling, screaming, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're threatening her, sometimes they're telling her things about other people's cases and whatnot to get her to do and say certain things. So if you start cutting out pieces of what they're saying, and then you say, this is what Alicia Andrews said in the interrogation room, this is why she said it, or she's lying about this, telling the truth about that.
Well, hold on, because just the only ththing at this point the state wants to take out are the statements or the representations the detective makes as to any potential sentence she's facing, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Judge, that is, there are additional things, correct, but mostly it is the references to a life sentence, what will happen to her if she's in prison.
Well, what else are you
she's
trying to cut
facing.
out?
Judge, there is a series of statements by the law enforcement officer that specifically references the evidence in the case and a jury. There are points that I want to take out where they're basically saying you're going to be convicted, you're going to be found guilty. Judge, I don't know why they would want that in there.
Me either, but they do, so.
Judge, and there are certain statements along those same lines where they're specifically talking about a jury and what the jury will find and what the jury will think, which I think is completely inappropriate statements to make to the jury. The jury's going to make what they want of the evidence on their own. They shouldn't be told by a detective what to think or what to make of the evidence.
And if they do not want the detective's statements, the statements that he made, and again, this is not just about that she was going to serve a life sentence, there are several more statements that the state is identifying. But if they don't want the statements to come in from what the detective said, then none of it should come in.
Okay, so state, why can this not be cured like with a limited instruction, similar to what is requested? Oftentimes when this comes up, it's because law enforcement will be confronting a defendant with other evidence, and there's an instruction that can be given that the jury's not to consider the opinions of law enforcement. So why can't that cure the problem?
Judge, normally it's the defendant asking for that.
I know, but we're not normal. Listen, I know. Listen, it's not your job, okay, to do their job. And it's not their job to do your job. They say they want the whole thing in. So now my question to you is, since they've made the decision, meaning the defense, that they want the whole thing in, why can't a limiting instruction not cure the problem?
Judge, because it's not relevant. What the detectives are saying is it's not appropriate for the jury to even consider what the potential sentence will be.
I know, but can't I tell the jury that?
Judge, it is several statements of the detective saying you're throwing your life away, you're going to be in prison for the rest of the life. We're talking murder one, you are going to be in for life. And then there are several more references to prison. He says things 30 to life that she's facing. There's even context where the detectives are saying that she could do life and all the other people in this case that really killed a person could get away with it. Like all of that, I think, is misleading to the jury and inappropriate for the jury to hear.
And I don't understand how you take all of that out and there's more. I think the limiting instruction is just fine. If the court says to the jury, which it does in the jury instructions that are read before they go to the that the jury is not to consider a sentence or anything like that.
Well, I would give a limiting instruction at the time Detective Ramos testifies about the interview.
That's fine with me as well.
So that's what I'm inclined to do.
Judge, if I can speak just briefly on
Sure.
this. Dory's handling this, but I'm pretty familiar with the case law on this. There's nothing wrong with the state redacting a statement in their case in chief. Under the rule of completeness, if we do a recording, if we redact a recording, depending on relevance and the court's ruling upon relevance, the defense can then put the remainder on in their case in chief. Normally, I think what Ms. Doherty's trying to point out is it's normally the defendant trying to exclude portions of a statement, and that's not the case here, I realize that. But there's nothing to prevent us from chopping up this recording and putting in what we deem fit to put in, as long as it's relevant and deemed to be relevant by the court. The defense then has an opportunity in their case in chief to put the remainder in if they wish, if it's also deemed to be relevant by the court.
Well, does it, they have to wait for the defendant's case in chief? Couldn't they ask pursuant to the rule of completeness that it be played in its entirety at the time it's admitted?
Right, and the way that works under at least the law that I've reviewed, and I just looked at this last year on a case that I was preparing for trial on, they can present that in their case in chief.
Well, you guys need to get some case law. So I've looked at
Okay.
case law, okay? What I could find, both of you do. So I guess tomorrow you need to bring two versions. One that's redacted, the way you want it redacted. The second one that's not redacted. That's the whole thing. And so when it comes to sentencing, the penalty is irrelevant to the jury's sole responsibility of determining a defendant's guilt or innocence, that the jury cannot be privy to the myriad factors which must be considered in sentencing, and that the court's advising the jury of the possible penalty is wholly inconsistent with the jury's responsibility to disregard the consequences of its verdict and tends to encourage a deplorable phenomenon which has come to be referred to as, quote, jury pardon, close quote.
So I'll actually put case law on the record.
Okay.
For this rule of completeness issue, Whitfield versus State.
What's this? Tell me the site.
It's 933 Southern 2nd, 1245 is the first DCA case from 2006, which states that when a writing or recorded statement or part thereof is introduced by a party, an adverse party may require him or her at that time to introduce any other parts or any other writing or recorded statement that in fairness ought to be considered contemporaneously, and an adverse party is not bound by evidence introduced under this section.
Right, which is what I just said. They don't. The rule of completeness doesn't require the defendant have to put it on in their case in chief. It just requires that the interview or the statement has to be produced in its entirety when it's originally produced. Okay.
That's just the case law.
Right.
I'm not going against what you're saying. I'm just citing case
Right.
law.
You're just affirming what I just ruled, which is great. Okay. So any other cases?
No, unless there's something. that
Okay.
that-
So anyway, state honestly, you're going to need to come up with something. Okay.
Judge, we'll send you case law tonight.
Okay.
I'm defense counsel.
Very good. So then, assuming it stays in, I'm inclined to give a limiting instruction where we tell the jury they're to disregard any opinions by law enforcement regarding any potential sentence. As we discussed during jury selection, the province of the jury is solely to determine the guilt or innocence, and the province of the court is strictly its mind to determine the appropriate sentence. Okay? Something to that effect. Okay? Very good. See you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Court's adjourned.
So the reason why they are so turned up in the courtroom today, even though it didn't really seem like that, no, we got speeded up a little bit over here. The reason why is simple. She was in that car. They want to make sure that the boyfriend, Gutter, seems like a scary individual. One of the things that they can't dispute, meaning the prosecution can't dispute, is that she's not in them text messages going ape shit, going crazy. She's not in them phone calls where these fools are snitching on each other and they say, yeah, Gutter got a real one, bruh. Gutter got a real one, man. He took his girl on the drill. I truly believe they didn't tell her nothing, but I don't think she cared anyways. I think she was one of them stupid young girls that was just chilling with her little boyfriend, following him along, puppy dog and all that stuff. Every dude on here know when you was that dude, bro, when you was like 18, 19, and you had your girlfriend and stuff, they used to wear your damn sweater, bring them stupid blankets and all that stuff and everything, and walk around like this, just want to be around you all the damn time. If you have not experienced that, I can't tell you what. They got on them dumb sweatpants, and it's not really sweatpants, it's like that little, because it's not tight, it's like whatever the hell. And then they got on them little slides with the furs on it. If you ain't been through this, bro, maybe it's a West Coast thing. Maybe I'm the only one, but I'm fairly certain she give me that aura. So there's that. But text messages, he might just spin it to win it. We just got to wait for the cross-examination. Because if cross is good enough, then it might be able to be knocked down basically to conspiracy. But as far as her being in on it, yeah, I don't know. But right now, it don't look good. If the if the way that they argued that, like for her in the damn interrogation room, seems like they basically knew that if she don't do this, this, and this, well, she should have fully cooperated anyways. Because let me tell every young bride on here, I don't even want to call it young bride. Don't even let me do that. That's foul. Every dude on here who has a young daughter, every brother, every cousin, every nephew, every uncle, every grandpa, have a talk with your young lady in your family that you know she attracted to these dang dummies. Because how they look at the dang dummies, because I was a dang dummy myself, they look at it as he got a little bit of money, he got a car, he got a spot, he can keep me protected. That's the muscle. You see what I'm saying? The attraction to the dang dummies is that he is going to protect me. That boy just protected himself. That little gutter did not care about that girl. Why would you take your girlfriend out there? If anything, dummy, you should have put your girl in a house and used her as an alibi to say, man, we was chilling here. I don't know nothing about that. If you was ever going to do anything like that, this young girl just threw her life away just by hanging out. Do I think she probably knew what was going to happen? Probably so. But do I think she understood the severity of it? Hell no. She's sitting there like this, like, and what they're trying to tell her is don't look scared. Don't look disinterested. This is a 21-year-old kid. Now, some of y'all will go, oh, bro, nah. I'm telling you, bro, when you look at that little girl, man, that she grown, all right. Lo and behold, 21 years old. Some of y'all will probably pipe that down and put that through the jail mattress. For sure, y'all would. But I'm looking at this like this is a confused young lady, bro. There ain't no way she knew what the hell ultimately could happen and would happen. Everybody that's sliding, everybody that's shooting, bro. Let me tell you something. If you not finna, never mind. I'm finna teach y'all how to get away with crime. Let me just put it this way. If you think that in this day and age, you're going to pop somebody, especially with high caliber goddamn firearms and shell catchers and all that, bro. If you think that you finna get away, let me help you out. No. Next time you driving down a highway, I just want you to look. And I want you to notice those cameras. And after you start to notice those cameras, I want you to drive by liquor stores. And I want you to notice those liquor stores. And I want you to notice where them ATMs are standing. I want you to notice the random ATMs that I just placed in so many spaces and places. And I want you to understand what's going on. Big Brother is watching. If you ain't figured it out yet, don't wait for it to figure you out. You will not beat technology. That's just how it's going. We are moving to the day and age of thermal and clear visuals, meaning cars are now being used to catch crime, and everybody volunteers for it. You want to know why? It's making stuff a little bit cheaper. If I can save on average about $3 a week, let's call it $3 a week. That's $18 a month. 10 months, $180. You telling me my $240 saved a year, I'm not going to do that? People add that up. Oh, in 10 years, it's $2,400. I'm going to save that anyways. See, this comfortability that you morons who are going around committing heinous crimes in front of people you don't know, you don't care about, and you don't care or know about yourself, bruh, it's the end. The years and years of being a dumb gangster, a stupid thug, boy, they just got a sale ready for you. Hey, get your pillow, get your blanket. It's over. Just hope y'all know it. Is what it is. Click right here and see that Black Zach video, bruh. Murder for hire. Picked up actually in Spartanburg. Click right here, click right here. Breaking news. Broke that to the internet first. Him, 4 other individuals. Or click right here for the playlist and get everything going. Get your day or night started. I'll catch y'all in the next one.